Hey everybody, thanks for clicking the video and watching. I'm Queso, and today I have a little bit different of a video for you. I was just on Facebook, kind of going through the groups, things like that, and I saw someone ask, does anybody have a good video on YouTube that can show me how to slice stuff? And I thought to myself, man, that's a really basic question. But then I also got to think, I wonder how many people have that same question and they're just too afraid to ask. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you guys how I slice my helmets, 3D printed items that I make. I'm going to give you some settings that I use and some tips that I use. And we're going to go through how to slice your first 3D print. So if this is the video for you, stick around and watch, and let's get to it. All right, so I've dragged and I've dropped in my helmet or my mask that I'm going to be making. This is a Deadpool mask from DoD 3D. It's a pretty good mask, so we're going to use that. These settings are the same thing that I do for all of my prints, pretty much. Any cosplay items, pauldrons, helmets, anything that I've made, these are going to be the same settings that I usually do. So first things first, you drag and you drop it in. For this helmet, I need to scale this up to 105 to fit me. So I'm going to go ahead and scale it up to 105. The scale button is going to be right here. Click that. I'm going to type in 105. I have uniform scaling on, so that's going to go 105 across. I click enter, and this is where we're at. Okay. Right here, these darker areas, that is the part of the 3D print at the moment that's outside the build volume of the 3D printer that I am currently using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of orientate this the way I want. So first things first, I'm going to take care of the upper part. So I typically will rock this back. And that's kind of the way I like to print it, because the supports are going to go farther underneath the chin right here, and you're really not going to see that. So as you can see, the gray part or the darker part is gone. Now we're going to move it to the side, kind of angle it. We have, where is our issues here? Boundary, okay. This might be just a little bit, yeah, right there. And on the corners. So what we need to do is we need to move this forward, but on the printer I'm using, you can't have too much right in there. So you just gotta be careful. Exclusion area when printing. All right, let's go from back here and see where we're at. All right, what we're gonna do, go back. I rocked it a little bit too forward. You just got to kind of play with it here and there. Okay. All right, perfect. All the warnings went away, and so now this is sliceable. Okay, there's no part of the print that is sticking out of the build volume area, so it's sliceable now. What I'm going to do next is now kind of the slicing settings. Okay. All right, so in a previous video, I went over support settings of a helmet or a mask or 3D prints, and I kind of showed you my settings that I used, and they're just going to be down through out here. If you want to go to that video after this, click on it and then pause and kind of copy my settings, but I'll leave that somewhere wherever it goes. Click that, gives you all my support settings, and we'll go into it. So typically though, I'm going to use 0.16 millimeter layer height. And I have my save settings. Again, click that video. But what you want to focus on is we're going to go to strength. Okay. If you really want a really strong print, you want to increase these wall loops. Okay. Typically 2 is good enough. But if you want to increase it, go ahead and increase it. It's just going to take more time in plastic. If you go down here, typically I'm going to be using gyroid infill. And I'm not going to do, especially on a helmet, I'm not going to do a whole lot more than 10%. And so I'm just going to go 8% infill. This doesn't really have any issues with helmet builds or anything like that. If you're doing more of a structural build, just use your best judgment of what type of infill you're going to need. But on a cosplay item, you're not going to need a whole lot. So I'm going to go 8% gyroid infill. I have my support settings right here. I'm going to go tree auto, 20% or 20-degree angles, only build plate, remove small overhangs, and then all of these settings again are in that video. So after this video, go click that, copy my settings down. They're actually really good. They're pretty solid. So this is what I want, and I'm going to go ahead and click slice. When this is done, I'll get back to you guys. All right, there's our helmet. So the green, those are the supports. That's the tree supports. And this is obviously the orange. This is the mask or the helmet. If you look at top right here, you can kind of see that's like ringing. That's called ringing. You're not going to see a whole lot of that on the actual physical print. This just shows you every little detail on it. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, but with this 0.16 layer height, you're not going to see it, especially with this textured print of the Deadpool mask. So with this as well, if you're ever doing like a Mandalorian helmet or a Star Wars bucket, you don't need to put anything in the middle. You could completely block this out. I think, you know what, just for this video, I'm going to show you how to block that out. So what you're going to do, I'm going to go back to prepare. I'm going to click here. This is support painting. This button right here. I'm going to click that, and it's going to show you everywhere the supports are going to go. If I wanted to erase these supports, first I'd increase the pen size so it can give me a bigger area. And then I'm going to right click, and it's going to show a red highlight, and I'm just going to paint, and that's going to remove where I don't want the supports to go. Anywhere the red highlight is, no supports will be made there. And you don't need any supports in the inside of your helmet, especially if it's a dome shape. You can do it if you want, but it will take more plastic and it will take more time. So I'm just going to paint it like that, and I'm going to call it good right there. Okay, so I'm going to click slice again, and I'll be right back. All right, so here we have it. I already sent my printer back there, so you might hear my printer going, but this is what the helmet looks like. So I went and took it out. Again, if you want to take out this centerpiece, go for it. It will look ugly, but the helmet will be fine. It should complete because it's a dome shape. No one's going to see the inside except you, so that's a choice you need to make. If you want to put it there, if you don't want them, take it out. It is saving me about 3 hours of print time and about $2 in filament. And so I will do that because, you know, I don't want to, if I don't have to take 3 extra hours, I'm not going to take 3 extra hours. So decide yourself. So I'm going to get this printed. There are more parts to this helmet. I'm going to be slicing them the exact same way as I did here. If you want me to do that and show you guys how to do that, let me know down in the comments. If you guys have anything else that you're struggling with slicing or anything, let me know down in the comments what specifically you're having challenges with, and I will do my best to answer and explain how to kind of combat that thing that you're struggling with. So if you've enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Be sure to check out my other video, my support settings video. They'll give you all the supports that I have saved here. Just make sure if you copy it over right here, click save, and that will save those supports for you. But anyways, I'm Queso Builds. Thanks for watching.